Yeah, that's right, you little rascal on Piers Morgan. I saw you.
No.
You and your bald friend.
Yeah, the bald guy. He killed it.
So I was on Piers Morgan yesterday. We shot it at 1:15. Macho Man. I came back to the studio. Macho Man had me all framed up, and it went great. With regards to the Piers Morgan social media platforms, the 2 reels they made with my comments have 124 and 125,000 respectfully. And the reel that they made was some bald-headed dude that represents himself as Hogan's agent, who I've never seen in my entire life, who also says he represents Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, who I've never seen in my life. Huh. I mean, he got,
dude,
I'm a sports agent. I represent Larry Bird. Come on, he's not even playing sports anymore, jackass.
He got 24,000, and so the 3-panel people were me, Vince Russo, and this Darren. Is it Darren Pierce?
Darren Prince.
Darren Prince.
He said Hogan helped get him sober off opiates, and what was it that? He posted on his Instagram, Bubba. He posted that he had no idea that he was going to be a panelist on Piers Morgan.
And you know what? None of us did. Like, we all kind of thought it was going to be a one-on-one. We all did. So when they put the screen up and they had a 3-box Willie, I didn't care. Vince Russo didn't care. But it seems like you said, Seth, this guy was full hot on the deal to the point where I think he took to his social media. Did
he said he never would have gone on a panel with you and Russo if he knew about it. And so he had the producers issue a statement that said that this guy did not know who the guests were going to be until he was actually on the show.
So there's nobody fake agent is upset that he wasn't prima donna'd enough?
Exactly.
What a bitch.
And we actually have the his social media posting, this Darren Prince, whatever the hell his name is, stating that he didn't know he was going to be on where the topic would have been about alcohol. Which, by the way, the only thing that was spoke about with regards to alcohol was Hogan's beer. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it.
And that offended him?
And that wasn't, that offended him. And that wasn't like,
bitch.
And that wasn't like, hey man, everybody go out and start drinking alcohol. If you're a recovering alcoholic or you're recovering, like we were just talking about the fact that Hogan, was canvassing. I did. My statement was, I think Hogan would be with us today had he listened to his doctors and been bedridden or very, 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 not active for 4 to 6 weeks.
He should have listened to his agent, Bubba, and shunned beer altogether. He would still be alive.
Well, I mean, Dan, listen, you actually
arguably
on the PW Insider, which is a pretty good website for wrestling stuff. They did a piece on you, actually, and I think you would agree. I don't know if you said this or not, but I'm going to get into that. But I think that you said, or you would agree, if I would make this particular statement, had Hogan listened to his doctors and not gone out 24 or 36 hours after this surgery and canvassed across America, doing 3, 4, 5 appearances a week, had he laid in bed, been bedridden, just stationary, and gone back for various checkups for that month to 6 weeks period that they suggest, I think Hulk Hogan would be here today with us.
I agree.
I think the complications that he had was, like you said,
in my opinion,
a hardware failure, and the hardware failed because you're not slowing down. Mm-hmm. You're standing for 4 and 5 hours at a time. You're flying. You're laying in different beds.
Not wearing your collar.
I'm sure, Dan, they probably had him, probably laying in a recliner or a medical bed, elevated. That's how they wanted him to sleep. You can't find that in a hotel room.
No, nope.
That's not available at, even the highest end hotel rooms that he would have been staying at. So I did Piers Morgan yesterday. Me and Vince Russo, I thought, nailed it. And this jobber, this guy who,
Darren Prince. Darren Prince.
Yeah,
Darren Prince of Bel Air.
You want me to read exactly what he had posted?
Please do.
He said, not happy about this BS and being asked for an interview versus your team being upfront and telling me it was a panel with others that I would never have done. This is called the bait and switch, and why I always try to be careful with who I interview with on clients and my recovery. For the record, I'm 17 years sober and wouldn't be involved in an alcohol project for those making ignorant comments. Bubba. After blasting them and having a firm legal letter sent, at least I got this tagline added by the editor.
What a douchebag.
And it says, Mr. Prince was a late addition to the rundown for this segment, did not have prior knowledge of the format or panelist. We appreciate him for joining us.
And you know what they should have said? Mr. Prince was the weakest of all three of the guests. and had we not had him on, we would have been able to give more mic time to Vince Russo and Bubba Clem, who really probably have a better understanding as to what's happening here. And your claim to fame is that Hulk Hogan helped you get off painkillers 17 years ago. I don't know how much.
By what, taking all of his?
But Bubba, that's 2008, and you were tight with him then.
Hey, brother, let me tell you, I'm going to get you off painkillers, Darren. You know how we're going to do it? Give me all your Percocets.
But Bubba, you'd have known this guy. I mean, you were tight with Hogan at this time.
Never heard of this guy in my entire life.
See, that's why he's a fake guy. There's going to be a lot of fake people.
I've never heard of this guy in my entire life. Meanwhile, the two shorts that Piers Morgan put up. By the way, I think the interview, Lummy, this is a short right here.
Yes.
This has got.
Did you and Piers chum it up off the air?
No, not at all. You didn't know. I mean, like literally, he appeared. The screen showed all three of us. Piers started firing questions away. I could tell it was taped because he initially. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I wish we would have been taping because you could because I think they tried to get Dave Meltzer to be where the Darren Prince guy was or whatever, because when Piers introduced us, he introduced what's his name? David Prince?
Darren Prince.
He introduced Vince Russo as Vince Russo. He then went right down the line, and then he went and joining us, Dave Meltzer, and then he goes, oh, hold on, something in my ear. Obviously, his producers were telling him that's not Dave Meltzer, that's Derek Prince, jobber extraordinaire. And so he goes, okay, hold on, let's do another pickup. He goes, and let me introduce Darren Prince, Hogan's a longtime agent, and I'm like, hold on. Hogan's agent was always Henry Holmes. That was always Hogan's agent.
You should have called him out on air.
Yeah, well,
like, who are you, dude? Where's Henry Holmes?
Yeah.
He's the agent. Who are you? You're just the guy that I get in the beer in the back?
You're the guy that, that Hogan stole all of his Vicodin from. And so then they introduced me, correctly. But I think that much aligning with the what's the guy's name, Lemmy?
Darren Prince.
I need to write this down because I'm going to refer to him a million times.
By the way,
today.
Piers got kind of kinky when he was talking about the sex tape.
Really?
He said he's not here to judge what best mates do with their wives. But
right.
I don't think he would have turned Heather down.
No, I don't think he would have. I think every one of them. Well, I mean,
that little rascal.
He's still
Darren
pissed
Prince
off.
wouldn't have.
I'm sorry. He's still pissed off about getting stiffed by Merkel.
Markle, by the way. Yeah.
Markle, whatever her name is.
So anyway, this guy was a complete. I wouldn't say just a complete jobber. Like his audio sucked. His enthusiasm sucked.
Well, he was sad, Bub. I think he was there to be sad about his friend. They needed somebody.
So Piers Morgan. If you go to Piers Morgan Uncensored on X, they released from this segment. They released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They released 5. Little teaser reels about this segment, okay?
Has Megyn Kelly called you yet for an interview?
No, but boy, I'd love to do that. And so within these 5 pieces, Lummy, the first one's 54 seconds, and it's about me.
Yeah.
Talking about listen. Well, here I'll just play it. And this has 124,000 about. Don't know where I'm getting the feedback. There we go. All right, here we go. This has 124,000 I'm going to be very candid. I think that if Hogan had listened to his doctors, we'd probably still have Terry with us today. 24 to the 36 hours after this major surgery, he's out canvassing across America. All these people flat out lied.
Enough was enough!
At 70 years old, Hulk Hogan cut a wrestling promo better than anybody in the business right now.
Hulk was the best man at your wedding. You know, your wife was filmed having sex with him. Had you had a chance to sit down to kind of bury the hatchet after all the problems from the fallout of the tape and so on, what would you have said to him?
Wow, Piers is salacious.
Yeah. So that's Lummy. That's real number. That's
one.
That's teaser number 1 at 123,000. Here's teaser number 2, and this has.
Well,
I'm going to be very candid. And this has only 24,000 views, Lummy. So this one's not as received as well. Well, I'm going to be very candid. I think that if Hogan had listened to his doctors, we'd probably still have Terry with us today. And you can see Darren all pierced lip. Just you can just, if you look at all 4 people on screen, Pierce looks okay, Vince looks okay, I'm talking and I look okay. Look at him. He looks like the little bitch that doesn't need to be there.
Wow.
Is the guy with the triangle and the circle?
Yeah, right here.
Does that mean something, that triangle circle thing?
It means
some kind of Scientology thing?
I don't know. It might be.
I read the comments on YouTube. Somebody said it was an Egyptian thing, if we're just going to go based off comments on YouTube.
Okay. He had a procedure that is a very major procedure and was told to slow down and, not get out for 4 to 6 weeks, and 24 to the 36 hours after this major surgery, he's out canvassing across America, doing the beer deal, doing the shoot style wrestling stuff. So, really the only person, and I was the only person that was reporting his true health status. And I didn't know that Vince Russo was going to be on this panel today, but that guy right there, that gray-haired guy right there, is the only dude that believed me when 7 weeks ago, I was getting reports that he wasn't doing good, that he was potentially on his deathbed, that the family had been summoned, and everybody. I got so much heat and so much hate and so much vitriol for telling the truth when his wife and the Brian Blairs and the Jimmy Harts and the Eric Bischoffs, I was calling people out.
You sure were.
These people flat out lied. They flat out lied about his condition. And I was the only one, and I wasn't trying to pound my chest and say I'm the only one. I was the only one saying, hey, this is a serious situation. I know I have inside sources, inside circles. This is a very grave situation, and we may not have Terry around much longer. And it all started with a complication that he had from the stage 4 cervical surgery he had, and he was told not to, but he had his beer investors, and he had his folk style wrestling investors, and he has all these people that are pulling at him that probably have tens of millions of dollars invested, and out canvas. You sell X amount of cases of beer in Green Bay, Wisconsin when Hogan's there, and you sell X amount when he's not there. And so I think had he actually slowed down, and a guy like Kevin Nash or some of these guys that are retired and don't have to go out all the time, are healthy and are in good shape. And Terry needed to slow down, enjoy his wealth, and not jeopardize his health. I think he'd be with us today.
Don't you think his agent would have maybe slowed him down a little bit or said something?
Dan, what did you think about that statement, Dan? Did you like it?
I think it's 100% accurate, Bubba.
Yeah.
I just don't see what the bald guy's adding.
Well, the bald guy, his necklace is for AA.
Ray A.
AA.
Oh, okay.
Ray A.
So let's bring a
That's his AA necklace made of tin.
let's bring a recovering alcoholic whose claim to fame is Hogan helped you get off pain pills, and you supposedly represent him when Vince Russo did 2 or 3 contracts with Hogan over the years and booked or attempted to book Hogan. Hogan had creative control and usually told him it didn't work for him. Vince, that didn't work for me, brother. But Vince had really good standing and knew Hogan. Of course I did. This dude here, and look at, he brings the whole segment down, right? If you just visually look at the screen that's in front of you right now. Pierce is the guy asking the questions. Vince looks like he's engaging and ready. Not in a bad. I mean, it's a sad mood, sad, and ready to contribute. And Vince did, and I'm leaned into the mic, ready to, and ready to be long-winded and participate. And what do you got here? Just based on body language.
Look, I think this guy is a bald-headed dildo, mostly just for the fact that he sent a legal letter after the interview. But I believe that they had him on, Bubba, because he was an actual friend of Hogan at the time. Or that's at least how they
you know what?
set him up.
And I question that. And in fact, Lummy, I'm gonna find out whether he was really a friend of Hogan's.
We got a Lummy investigation on our hands.
Listen, Dan, if I can find out the day he's going to die, I can certainly find out, who his circle of friends were, right?
Is he like really
and
an agent?
have I not been, hold on, have I not been correct? Pretty much. Not that I want to be, but I mean,
Yeah, you've been dead
many
on,
people, Bubba, and look, it was all completely consensual.
Well, hold on, let me see here. How many? This one was the most salacious because it's about the sex tape. 126,000 views.
Many people, Bubba, and look, it was all completely consensual, and it's not for me to be any kind of moral judge about any of that. But when you look back on that episode in your life, obviously the fallout from that original decision to let your wife have sex with your best mate turned out to have catastrophic repercussions that went on for a very long time, including ruining your relationship with your best friend. I mean, do you regret that initial decision? Do you wish you just never got involved in that initial thing?
Well, yes. The answer very simply is yes, times a million. I wish that, Hogan was living with me at the time. It was when he was probably at the low point of his life. He was living with me. We had my wife and I had somewhat of an open relationship. I was trying to cheer my buddy up, and it was a complete mistake on my behalf, and I truly wish it would have never happened. Look, now, did you see Johnny Poopy Pants?
Yeah.
Did you see Johnny Poopy Pants cross his arms? Look. And it was a complete mistake on my behalf. Watch. And I truly wish it would have never happened. Look, Vince is looking at maybe what the next question may be. Pierce probably is satisfied with my question. I'm done answering it. And look at Johnny Poopy Pants.
Yeah,
dear Johnny Poopy Pants, you're not important enough to even be on this panel.
Right.
I mean, it should have been me and Vince. Or it should have been Vince. But you know what? Pierce could have made this a 2-part series and done Vince all alone. Vince has enough stories that could fill the 30. And I got enough stories that'll fill the 30.
Yeah.
30. Or we could both, listen, Vincent and I listen, I'm talking, Vince and I are close. Mm-hmm. And with Seth's help, we're going to start having Vince on once a week.
Do you think he's wondering who's the dick in the middle too?
I think he is too.
Jake Snake said it really well. Wore out T-shirt, resting bitch face, and a white trash AA pendant.
but look at him.
He looks like just a big dildo.
And then here's the deal. Do you think that you're better than me?
I don't know.
Do you think that you're better than Vince? Do you think that you're better than this panel?
Yes.
Do you? Yeah.
He does. Yes.
He does.
You think
because A, he's Hogan's friend, and B, he's sober.
I sent you a picture. The only picture I can find of him and Hogan.
Do you have that picture of him and Larry Bird? Because I think that kind of validates that he is somebody important, Lummy.
Is this picture with his head up his ass?
That's
by the way, this
Look at the boys.
Hold on, this
He's
is
one of the boys.
No, hold on. This is from like when Rodman and was with WCW and Hogan was bringing, and it looks to be like it's the French.
Don't say that's 97, Bubba.
I'm telling you, that's 97. And hold on, and that's Sly Stallone's brother right there.
yeah.
Was it Frank's? Frank Stallone?
Yeah,
Stallone?
right. You might as well put your mom Jackie in there and do tarot card readings.
He's got a Stallone's face on his chest just to remind everybody he's Stallone's brother.
And
I'm gonna wear Steven's face on my chest. Hey, I'm Steve's brother.
Damn it! Did I click out of? No.
Just through Lummy's investigations, I think he.
I sent you the Larry Bird one.
I think he does.
I don't know you want to say it.
Okay.
I think he does believe that this Darren Prince is somewhat legit.
Well, here's the deal. They originally tried to get Dave Meltzer because they wouldn't have messed up on the introduction, and they had. I think they scrambled around to get this jobber, before press time. I don't know what this one's about, Lummy, but this only has 24,000 views.
Does he
to me
talk
when
in
I
any of
interviewed
these
him.
clips?
What?
Does he talk in any of these clips?
I don't know.
Clear to me when I interviewed him about it that he felt very, very.
And look at he resting bitch face. Me and Vince are ready to work.
I know.
Me and Vince are ready to work.
Embarrassed. That was his overriding thing about it, was that he just felt a deep sense of personal embarrassment that a story like that had gone so big around the world. Was that your sense about it for him?
I mean, it's just like you just said, we're all flawed. I just celebrated.
So again,
Oh, boy's going into a sobriety.
Oh God!
No,
Dude, his whole identity is him being able to function like the rest of the world.
But like Johnny, listen, can somebody throw him some Zoloft and get him back on track? Because he is like, I feel like he's going to go blow his brains out right after the segment.
Oh my
Listen
God.
to him.
Your sense.
Meanwhile, hold on.
Man, I thought Brian was bad because he won't let me vape in his car, man. But this guy's
Listen to
next
this.
level.
But if you watch, if you watch this, listen to me. If you watch this, me and Vince project. We're on. We realize we're on camera and we're doing an interview. We have enthusiasm. We have, we're telling a story. And this guy sounds like Johnny Voice Box guy.
About it for him.
I mean, it's just like you just said, we're all flawed. I just celebrated 17 years sober in early July. You think I lived a perfect life, and now I'm helping people all around the world, And he didn't deserve any of that. None of that. That wasn't the human he was.
Compelling. Boy, this guy's saving the world.
You, I think, went through a period of opioid addiction in the early 2000s. Hulk was very helpful.
And by the way, in the early 2000s, that's when I was right up, like,
You're right up his ass.
but I'm right up his ass.
You were.
But I mean, like in the early 2000s, him and I could have. That was the actual one of the strongest periods of our relationship.
To you, is that right?
And you know what? In the early 2000s, this guy was nowhere. He never mentioned this guy.
Yeah, because he was doing rails of opioids off, the back of toilet seats, Bubba. He didn't get sober until, 08 are we doing right now?
Extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. And brought us closer to God together, too. And
by the way, Hogan wasn't really doing much with God in the early 2000s either. Just telling you.
As you know, Piers, I've got my own foundation now. We scholarship people for the Aiming High Foundation all over America. And
you think
what does this have to do with Hogan?
Hold on. You think Pierce's people afterwards said, man, the Vince guy and the Bubba guy, they did pretty good, but who in the heck? Whoa. Phew.
Well, especially because they got a legal letter afterwards, Bubba, so they got a dull guest.
You didn't get a legal letter from me or Vince. We were just happy to be on the show and be able to help. Thanks.
Mistakes in my lifetime, but that's not me anymore.
This guy's a human butt plug.
How much do you think, Darren, in the end, that work played a part in him dying? A lot of people have come out to say he was being overworked towards the end of his life, that he should have been taking it easier and so on.
Let's see what he says here.
Other people say, look, he was a wrestler. It's a hard, brutal business. You're lucky if you have a very long, long life as a wrestler, statistically. Where do you sit with that debate about his work-life balance in the last few years?
Well, I'll tell ya. I got my own foundation where we foundation kids.
I'm a cancer survivor. I beat melanoma.
Did I tell you that I need to go to see Dr. Dan's new hair restoration program? And did I also tell you that in the early 2000s, Hogan helped me with my addiction? Meanwhile, everybody that was close to him in 2000s knows nothing about me at all. I don't even think you live in Clearwater or Tampa for that matter.
Check out my $18 necklace.
Look at my flea market sobriety necklace.
But you did say,
along with my folding of the arms, that I do not care for, one, Vince Russo, more importantly, that fat son of a bitch that taped him having sex with his wife. I do not stand for that. But does anybody got a Valium or a Percocet I could take?
Or another $4 t-shirt?
I sent you when he was on the ABC Nightly News talking about Hogan, if you want to hear it.
I mean, I represent a lot of global icons, and I see it all the time. I mean, they're competitive.
Do you ever notice this? Vince, and either I would suggest, and we should probably post up on our various platforms, Facebook, X, Insta, wherever, the actual, well, never mind. I'm working. I'm going to be doing. You guys will have shorts.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you and Gary what to do, but this guy sucks, and it's just an absolute joke. And this appearance, and it just
nature, you got to.
Oh yeah, and never do Vince or I talk about ourselves. I talk.
Sure?
I talk about myself in the fact that I'm sorry. I talk about myself in the fact that I'm the only one that gave the correct information, but I don't talk about. I don't talk about my Bubba the Love Sponge Foundation that I've given over $1 million to fallen police officers and first responders.
Did you talk about your FCC fine?
I don't talk about my FCC fine. I don't talk about my hog killing.
Sprint
I don't
cars?
talk about all the things I've overcome. No. I mean, and Vince doesn't talk about, hey, do you know at one time I was the lead writer for WWE during the Attitude Era? Do you know that I came in then and later on and worked at WCW? I also worked at TNA.
Did he put the belt on himself?
I put the belt on myself. It was my idea to put. I think David Arquette. I think I may have made.
Dark times.
I made a few mistakes.
Balance in the last
No. Vince talked about Terry.
You talk about the cover of Muscle and Fitness?
few years.
I represent a lot of global icons, and I see it all the time. It's their competitive nature. You got to find.
Can you find out where this guy's from? Because he's got a real East Coast feel about him.
Does he? That looks like Vegas.
I know, but anybody can put. Look at Alex Stein. You think he's in a winter log cabin somewhere in Vermont,
smoking a pipe,
somewhere in Vermont where it's still snowing in June. You know what I'm saying?
Once they're out of the spotlight, they always find something in the world of business to just go 150 miles an hour, and nobody was going to tell them any different. No superstar athlete is any different.
Bull crap.
Yeah, this guy represents the guy that eats too much.
You're going to tell me right now that Chris Godwin, one of the greatest wide receivers ever, and just went through a major injury, and is because he listened to his. Dan, you were a team doctor for the Buccaneers, and those high-priced major athletes, when your father gave them a directive, less of this, more of that, none of this, they listened.
I remember
They
Cadillac Williams.
listened.
Remember Cadillac?
Yeah, he was highly heralded #1 draft pick.
Right. When he hurt himself, Dad made sure that guy came in all day and did his therapy and did his training and did everything. And they listened. They were compliant because they were professional
If Cadillac
athletes.
Williams was doing in-stores at Walmart all around, standing for 3 and 4 hours at a time, traveling all across America, and your dad would have said, I don't know who the coach was it Dungy or
Gruden.
Say, hey, Chucky, what? Cadillac is not slowing down, and he's just out and about. Chucky would have shut that down in 1 second.
Do you think Mike Allstott overdid it after his neck surgery so he could play NFL football again?
No,
he was compliant, and he played another 2 seasons.
Actually, Mike Allstott.
He was probably doing keg stands though, like right out of the hospital.
Listen to this. Listen to this, and Dan, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, or at least fill me in. So Mike Allstott has a major neck surgery, a major neck pinch, nerve pinch, like it's a bad deal. And
He had a fracture.
All the doctors, except for one, said he's done. Wrap it up. He's done. Joe Diaco takes a look at the screens, takes a look at the images, takes a look at it, thinks about it,
Takes a look at him.
Runs Mike through a series of tests. Takes a look at it, thinks about it, and comes back and says, I'm telling you right now, he can play. He can play. And Allstott was not wanting to retire. Mike wanted to play. Yep. So, Mike's like, for real? And Dr. Joseph Diaco was the only doctor that stuck his neck out, no pun intended, and said, this guy can play.
Yep.
And Mike went on to play, retired when he wanted to, and didn't have to retire based on neck complications from that surgery. Joe, your dad was right.
Yep. And he credits Dad for that. He says, Dad gave me another couple years of my career.
I know
I'll
he
never
does.
forget that.
To retire.
So This guy, let me. Here's another one. I don't know what this one's about. Maybe
Best friends. Hulk was the best man at your wedding.
see, to me,
See,
Seth.
he's getting mad when you said that.
To me, Seth, like. I got the majority of the real estate on here.
Yeah, you did. It seemed like you were the last person that they asked a question to. I feel like they had you quiet for the first 10 minutes, and then Piers could tell that you were the guy to go to.
Yeah, I think Piers could feel the room. I'm sorry. I think Piers could read the room, and he went with the guy that's going to get him the clicks. And so, I've been in contact with Vince Russo. Vince has done the show. Seth, when you were gone during your hiatus, we had Vince on.
Yeah.
And the people loved him. Now, the only knock on him is he uses the word bro, much like Hogan uses brother. So like that's like his way, like, you know, and to the point of it gets a little irritating.
Then let's have a bro count before we talk to him each time.
Hey,
Let's go over
you know
under.
what we should do too?
We actually did last time. He was at 74 by the time.
Really?
The show was,
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but let me. Do we have the capabilities to have in the lower corner,
Yes.
like Gary or Macho Man, to have like, you know, ding,
Yes.
ding? We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'd be like, hey, listen, Vince, as a work, because you got to understand, Seth, this guy knows how to work. You know, like this guy. So as a work, you know, a lot of people get heat with your bro. That's your, but that's your gimmick. So can we shoot on your gimmick by having a bro count when we're having our discussion, and we have a little bro counter in the corner? Can we do? And I'm telling you right now, him knowing how to work, being a hell of a hand, he would say absolutely. Let me. Whose idea was the bro counter? Did you get it from chat?
No. That was what I came up with last time because I couldn't take it, and I started putting lines on my thing.
I love it. We can have fans go, you know, what's the bro over under? You know what I'm saying?
The Brover.
Yeah. Oh, the Brover. Let me. I got one more clip to play from Piers Morgan, Uncensored. Is this his internet? This is kind of like our Uncensored show, right? Like he does. I think he does network, and then he does an Uncensored.
They put his Uncensored show on Live Nation on Fox.
Oh, so this was on Live Nation?
He puts it on like his.
But there was nothing like there's all of this could have aired on real TV because there was no cussing or no, you know, objectionable. There was nothing that would be objectionable at all. So when I come back, I got one more clip.
Yes.
One more clip.
And this guy's from New Jersey.
Hold on. Did I not hit it?
Yeah.
Dan, did I not say he had East Coast energy?
Yeah.
And that East Coast energy, I don't want everybody that's listening to me from Jersey or, you know, like that, but that East Coast prick. Dan, you deal with it every summer when you guys go to New Jersey shore.
Yeah.
It's that East Coast.
He is one.
Yeah, he is.
I am one. And this guy needs to go back to his job as a security guard at the putt golf course.